What is going on in New Jersey?
So, sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern. So we do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating. What the Bureau has done to aid our state and local partners is what we generally do, enlist the help of the interagency, enlist the help of the public. There's a tip line there, that 1-800-CALL-FBI, tips.fbi, for information from the public that could help us resolve this. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
Boy, oh boy, this drone story is heating up, and now we're having congressional hearings about these drones finally, and I would like to ask some of you all now, has your mind changed at all about these drones? Personally, I'm still open to all theories. I've told you all from day one, I don't think this is the U.S. military. And looking at these congressional hearings, all I will say is, yes, this still could be the military, but damn, they are allowing this situation to go really far. If this is the U.S. military behind these drones, they've allowed this story to spiral out of control to the point that we're having congressional hearings about them. They've allowed the situation to go way too far if this is the U.S. military behind this. But, of course, once again, they're saying, oh, these things, we don't know. It doesn't seem as if these things pose a threat to the American public, to American citizens. They're just popping out of nowhere. These mysterious drones, they keep coming out of nowhere, and they always fly over our nuclear sites and military bases, but they're not posing a threat, don't worry. It's like, no, these drones never go and fly over Barnes and Noble. The drones aren't hovering over Dunkin' Donuts. They always go to the nuclear sites and military bases, but they're not posing a threat. They're not out sightseeing at the Ferris wheel. They're not on, freaking Coney Island. I don't even know, much about that part of the U.S., but you know what I mean? They're not flying over the amusement parks and taking in the views, right? They're just totally, innocently not posing a threat as they target military bases, critical infrastructure, and nuclear sites. I mean, come on, do you really think we're stupid? Obviously, these things are up to no good. Obviously, they pose a threat. Now, I'm not saying that the drone itself poses a threat, but they're collecting information for weapon systems that will pose a threat, and that's obvious. But this congressional hearing was very interesting. We're going to go through different clips and different videos, but one of the most interesting details we got out of this meeting is that the Coast Guard has been followed, chased, and tracked by these drones. The U.S. Coast Guard has now been followed. They have reported that they were followed by over a dozen drones, as many as 30, following one of their Coast Guard boats as they were skimming through the ocean. This is some wild stuff. Let's go ahead and roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more.
And I'm very concerned that we're missing something here. I've raised the issue, as has my colleagues, Maliotakis and others, in New Jersey and New York, about these drone sightings. So last night I was on the beach in Island State Park in Ocean County with the sheriff. He has been working it every single night. He's got his own tethered drones chronicling. One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there. So we thought maybe they'll replicate it. They didn't, but we thought it was a possibility. Last night we had a number of other people there, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them. And I said, what's the rules of engagement? I mean, you do it if you're fighting against a narco trafficker or something. And they said, we don't know, we don't have any. So I did reach out to the commanding officer at the Joint Base, which is also in my district, and talked to him, had a very good conversation, Colonel Anthony Smith, Joint Base Fort Dix McGuire, the 87th Air Wing, Air Base Wing today. And I said, I know you have the capability, you've put out press releases, to identify and bring down drones. Why can't you deploy them, at least to the ocean? Bring one of these down, find out who's doing it. They have the capability. He said, we don't have the authority, only within the parameters of our base. Well, there's a national interest here. Our jets fly over the ocean all the time for training, so that perimeter is larger. So I did write Secretary Lloyd Austin asking that capability that may be sitting in a closet somewhere, I know they use it all the time, but bring it out. And I'm not saying you got to share it with the sheriffs. It'd be nice. Just do it yourself in the interest of the American public. So I would ask if you would echo that request. I mean, DOD's got the capability, and maybe Homeland Security does as well. When we had a Zoom meeting with Secretary Mayorkas, our governor put it together, and I appreciated that. But I asked them, why can't we just track where they go to?
The number one question everyone has is, why haven't we shot one of these things down yet? But as he explained, you have to go through certain protocols to be able to do this. Now, I understood, and I still understand, why they're not shooting one of these things down over the suburbs of New Jersey, right? You don't want to shoot one of these things down as they fly over residential buildings in Brooklyn. I get it, right? Obviously. But they're also being tracked to the ocean. Now, if they're flying over the ocean, trailing, tracking, and following Coast Guards, at that point, I think, hey, maybe you need to take a shot now. You know what I mean? Like, when it's over residential areas, obviously you can't do that. But when it's over the ocean, I understand there's certain protocols. I understand, certain people don't have the authority to make this call and make this move. But something needs to be done. And I hope that people who are following this story, I hope you guys understand, as well as I understand, that I am sure there are people within our military, within the Coast Guard, that are itching to blow one of these things out the sky. But they're not allowed to. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you all about that. But like he was saying, hell, when we get one of these things over the ocean, that's our time that we need to take one of these things down. And I agree. Because how far are we going to allow this to go? How much are we going to allow these people, whoever is behind this, to get away with? They have followed FBI agents home. They're already circling above our military bases. It appears that they have intimidated the New Jersey State Police by flying the drones over the barracks, and now they're harassing our Coast Guard. I don't know what's next. I honestly don't. But I know it's going to be worse than what we've seen so far. But for now, let me know your thoughts down below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.